We're talking about IT solutions and the type of challenges that small businesses such as yourselves have experienced during this time.
When it comes with regards to the IT field of business, remember now, IT is a little bit different than your ordinary, day-to-day businesses. However, IT is what drives us in a value chain perspective. We have more than we focus on our clients. Is it our relationships that we also need to get with our supply chains, with our suppliers per se. So in actual fact, when it comes to us delivering our services, IT is a bit broad. So I'm talking from the sales of hardware. When we talk IT, we're talking from a perspective of software development more. We're talking from network infrastructure setups. So I will strictly talk on supplies of hardware, supplies of your laptops, your desktops, and so forth. So how did it affect us from a business? Heavily so. However, it is yet again just business. And when it comes to business, there is turbulence that will happen. However, we did find our gap in doing what we do best, which is IT solutions. We created relationships. We met with our resellers in person. So if you ask me with regards to how did we make it, I said, no, we haven't made it. We're just looking for plans to make it work for us.
And as far as government interaction is concerned, how much engagement have you had with government as well as its agencies to help relieve some of the pressure that entrepreneurs such as yourself have been going through?
Look, when we talk government and the pressure of government, I will still say no, there was a lot of promises made. And we will stick to saying that there was a lot of promises made, promises from relief funds and so forth. However, we will not rather focus on that because we are in business, meaning that we did not start business with regards to receiving handouts. However, when we asked to stop what we're doing, and will be supported by the government for us stopping what we do, we expected those promises to be delivered. Unfortunately, sadly, it has not come to that part of it. So one have made peace with it, and we looked at different avenues and ways to make it work for us. What I did from our chair, what we did as Thaboera IT Solutions, we created that, approach with our resellers to give them that not perception that we can still add value, but add value to them. We are in the IT business. It was a lockdown approach, and it was a global lockdown, not just on us from an IT perspective, but business in general. So what we did from our sides, from an IT perspective, we went and we sat with our resellers because they all have been affected with the very same lockdown approach. So we created our relationships to give them that comfortability that no, we are still valuable to them. And by us being valuable to them, meaning that we ordered in bulks. It was just an approach to make it work for us. We ordered in bulks, we ordered computers in bulk so that they can deliver it and also give it to us on a cheaper basis. Because the more quantity you buy, we work with a discount. And simply and only so that we can go and offer our clients a better price. Because remember now, during the lockdown, every other prices have a bit increased and none of us were supposed to work. And those that do have a bit of this so needed equipment or essentials, laptops is still an essential, was a bit overpriced. But fortunately for us, we have managed to get into good relationships to buy bulks on our, one will use the word and say credit businesses relationships that we have with our resellers.
You know, Thabo, you mentioned something quite important there. There's always a level of disappointment when what you've been expecting actually does not materialize, and one really has to move from that mindset of being disappointed to being solutions oriented, and that sounds like something that you were able to do. But tell us, what exactly is within your business survival toolkit that enables you to keep operating, that perhaps other entrepreneurs can also learn from?
Honestly speaking, truthfully speaking, I would like to put it onto the books and onto the relationships, onto the value chain, but I would rather say we pray. I know it sounds a bit funny for a business platform, but Sometimes prayer is very much important for these things, and that will help us also to open up doors of opportunities, to know how to look at things differently. Remember now, when promises made, I'm trying to not motivate as much, but rather tell my story, where I'm from a business perspective. We were faced with promises of neighbor relief fund, I will say again. They didn't come true. So there was two ways we can either go about them not being fulfilled, which is our promises not being fulfilled. You can either fail and always blame, or we look for a solution. So our solution was just to recreate relationships and to be, create tailor-made packages for our clients, and not. It's a new approach. It's a new approach. It was a global pandemic, so you need a total new approach in business, a new approach in plans, a new approach of marketing, a new approach of pleasing our clients. And more than we pleased our clients on a group package, was it mostly a tailor-made packages that we implemented for our clients. How did it affect me in business, or rather us in business? Heavily so. But it is important to recreate your relationships, replan, rework on marketing strategies, just to make it work for you. Remember now, it's still business. My business approach might just be different than the next person's business approach. However, we're still just in business. And in business, all our aims is to make profit, because that's what makes us sustainable in our business. And what we were faced with, and still faced with, is a bit heavy. However, truthfully speaking, we get into the norm of preventing these viruses, so we can slowly return back to our offices. But even when we do so with the right approach. And from a Thaboera IT Solutions perspective, where we deal with computers, it is of extreme importance to rather look at what the clients need. We run surveys to find out from the clients how and what is it expected from us as an IT company to make their services easier and better and still remain in business.